Shalom, ladies, and we are back with Proverbs 31. Now, we are over the halfway mark of studying this, and we are on verse 18. So I really hope that you ladies are finding this valuable and that it is helping you to change your focus on your walk with Abba Father. And I pray that this will just lead you more and more into truth and a deeper understanding of your relationship with Abba Father. So let's jump straight into the teaching. So, verse 18. Proverbs 31:18 says, "She perceives that her merchandise is good. Her candle goes not out by night." So let's go and see what the meaning of perceive that her merchandise is good. So perceive is the Hebrew toham, which is to taste, figuratively, or to perceive, but to see, perceive and taste. So you'll see that it's translated in the King James 10 times as taste and only once as perceive. If we're going to have a look at one of the translations of taste in Psalm 34 verse 8, it says, "O taste and see that Jehovah is good. Blessed is the man that trusts in him." So merchandise is sachar, which is to profit from a trade. And it's only been translated 4 times directly as merchandise. But what does that actually mean to us? If we go and just look at some Bible verses explaining and getting an understanding of what the Bible talks about in this, Proverbs 3:13-14 says, "Happy is the man that finds wisdom and the man that gets understanding, for the merchandise profit of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold." Isaiah 23:18, "And her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness to Jehovah, and it shall not be treasured nor laid up, for her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before Jehovah, to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing." So you see how this being holy before Father is profit to the believer. And the profit or the merchandise is to dwell before Abba Father. Then you will eat sufficiently and have durable clothing. So let's go and delve into the book that a lot of this is based off of, which is Valour, A Messianic Journey Through Proverbs 31 by Robin Luton. If you've got it, then you can join me. We are reading on page 73 and 74. So page 73 says, "She perceives. The woman of valour is aware, and she takes notice of her present reality. She is not busy, distracting, or entertaining herself. She knows that the resources which are hers at the moment are good, and they equip her to meet any challenge or opportunity. It is crucial to realize that what she perceives is viewed through a perspective of truth. Our tendency is to create fantasies and hold ourselves ransom to the inevitable disappointment of unfulfilled expectations. As women, we tend to compare ourselves not only to other people, but we also create images in our mind about how our ideal reality should look or feel. Don't we fall all prey to that? We tend to think that once a particular hardship passes, then we can return to normal life. We must realize that unpleasantness is part of growing stronger and that nothing is random. And every detail of life is part of a divine curriculum. The great thing of if one can, is to stop regarding all of the unpleasant things as interpretations of one's own or real life. The truth is, of course, that what we call the interpretations are precisely one's real life. The life God is sending one day by day. What one calls one's real life is a phantom of one's own imagination. Contentment is the result of living a meaningful life guided by truth. I'm going to read that again. Contentment is the result of living a meaningful life guided by truth, not by comfortable circumstances. When we are doing what we are meant to do, as truthfully and humbly as we are able, we experience satisfaction. We often assume that contentment will result when our external circumstances improve or adjust themselves to our preferences. Contentment isn't conditional. It is in an internal mindset and perspective. This is why some people are discontent though life has been kind to them in terms of ease and comfort, while others are content in the midst of apparent suffering. And of course, gratitude is a key antidote to self-pity. We are a work in progress and bringing correction to our habit of comparing, fantasizing, procrastinating, and withholding gratitude is a goal to pursue. This transformation cannot occur overnight, but each step in the right direction is its own reward. Ladies, how many of us get stuck in that trap where we compare ourselves to others, or we keep waiting for the circumstances to change before we can be happy, before we are content? We need to be content where we are at and trust Abba Father that He is in control. And we spoke about it previously with the other verses. We want to control everything. And when we feel slightly out of control, we lose faith. We get depressed. We wallow in self-pity. And that is very dangerous. Circumstances are there to mold you, to form you, to make you stronger. So stop waiting for things to change. I think a lot of us, and I'm guilty of it, we fall into that, if this situation changes, then I'm going to spend more time in prayer. If I just get if I just get more into comfortable living circumstances, then I can spend more time in prayer. I can spend more time in worship. Why aren't you now, in your current circumstances where things are difficult, worshiping Father and showing Him that through your lifestyle that you trust Him despite it being difficult? That is a very hard thing to change your mindset on, but it's going to be crucial for you to find contentment in your current circumstances. You've got to be content with the crying babies and the toddlers running around and throwing their terrible tantrums. You can't wait for them to grow up before you draw closer to Father. That is a big mistake. You've got to be cleaving to Father despite the circumstances that are coming towards you. You've got to cleave to Father and trust Him and worship Him and praise Him even when there's no finances. I have been homeless, so I know what I'm talking about by being content even when you don't have a place to call your own. It is not easy, but you can't say, but Father, I can't find joy now because I haven't got my own place. I can't find joy now because we don't even know what we're going to eat tonight. You've got to praise Father. You've got to spend time with Father. And even then you need to draw into Him even more than in times when things are going well. So I hope that you're going to just stop, rewind this, listen to that again that I read, and just go and contemplate on your life. Where is it that you have withdrawn from Father when you should have been drawing into Him? In Malachi 3, Father says, return to me, and I'll draw into me, and I'll draw to you. I'm quoting that Kathy version. You can go back and read Malachi 3, and you'll see where Father says, if you draw into him, he's going to come to you. He's not going to force himself onto you. So let's look at the second part of Proverbs 31:18. It says here, her candle goes not out by night. What does that exactly mean? So let's first go and have a look at the meaning of candle. Candle here in the Hebrew is ner, which is a primitive root. So the meaning is to glisten. That is, let your little light shine. Remember that children's song, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm sure we've heard that all over the world, hopefully. Otherwise, that's a South African version there for you. So that glisten is to let the light shine. It's a candle, a lamp, or a light. Now, we see the reference to this right through Scripture. And I'm just going to quote a few of them. So lamp is referred to as commandments and righteousness. Psalm 119:105 says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. And this word that it's talking about is not the New Testament. This is the word, the Torah that was given by Abba Father to Moses. Proverbs 6:23, for the commandments is a lamp. The commandments, oh my word, the commandments is not burdensome. It's a lamp. And the law is a light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Proverbs 13:9, the light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. So the light of the righteous rejoice, and the lamp of the wicked is put out. Proverbs 20:27, the spirit of man is the candle of Jehovah, searching all the inward parts of the belly. So your spirit is light. So is your spirit so oppressed that it can't shine on those around you? Or is your spirit a light to those who's going to draw people up to Abba Father? Proverbs 24:20, for there shall be no reward to the evil man, the candle of the wicked shall be put out. As a woman of valor, hard times, trials, attacks should not make you compromise your walk or lose your faith or hope in Jehovah. How many of us go through difficult times? And I've been there. I've been in those times where, oh boy, you're attacked on all sides and you lose hope. And that only happens when you choose, because it's a choice, to wallow in self-pity. And it's so easy to wallow in self-pity. Ladies, it is, I want to say it's almost like a weakness. Our flesh, we need to sacrifice this flesh. And that the way we do that is by making a choice. When that hard times come and we do get attacked, and I can attest to that for this last week. Those attacks are hard. When our children turn against us. When everything seems to go wrong. And all that we can do is have a hope. Is to draw to Father and not to give up hope. Because that's what puts us apart from the rest of the world. That's what puts us apart. Because the world doesn't have that hope. The world has nothing to trust into because they don't believe in the living Elohim. They have no hope. You have a hope. Don't let your light go out because of circumstances. Don't let the enemy win because of circumstances. When the rubber hits the road, that is when you see what you are made of. Put yourself in Job's shoes, what he had to go through. Job had to go through so much. And I think there's so many of us that wouldn't be able to go through what Job went through. He lost his children. His children died. Just stop and think when you read scripture, put yourself in the story. Job lost all his children. All his animals, all his riches, he lost. Will you still stand and have a hope and a faith in Abba Father if you lose your health and your children? And now, ladies, I know a lot of you, your faith will be shaken if you have to lose one of your children. Now imagine you lose your health, your finances, and your children. And with the way the world is going at the moment, our children are being drawn away by the things of the world. The world is so easy to live in. It is so much easier to fit in, be accepted, and be loved by the world than to be set apart and be so different by walking in righteousness. That narrow way. But I want you to know that to have that hope in Father is all that we've got to hold on to. That is where you're going to find your contentment. Matthew 25. I'm going to put it up here on my screen so that you can read along with me. Matthew 25, we all know this parable. The reign of the heavens shall be compared to 10 maidens who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 foolish. Those who were foolish, having taken their lamps, took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their containers with their lamps. Now, while the bridegroom took time, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, "See, the bridegroom is coming out to meet. The bridegroom is coming. Go out to meet him." Then all those maidens rose up and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, "Give us of your oil, because our lamps are going out." But the wise answered, saying, "No, indeed, there would not be enough for us and you. Instead, go to those who sell and buy for yourselves." And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. And later the other maidens also came, saying, "Master, Master, open up for us." But he answered and said, "Truly, I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, because you do not know the day nor the hour in which the Son of Adam is coming." Ladies, your lamp is your relationship with Father. That oil is that your spirit man growing strong. That is the Holy Spirit in you. How strong is your relationship with Abba Father? Are you going to have enough oil to make it through the night? And remember, the night, we've looked at other passages in Proverbs 31, that night is the hard times. That is the time while we're waiting for the bridegroom when things are tough. Are you spending time with Father to get to know your Father? Are you going to know His voice and follow Him? How many people claim to know Father, but they don't even recognize His voice? That is what you need to prepare for. You need to be working on your relationship with Father, intimately know Him, that you would recognize His voice, that your oil lamps will be full, that you will have that extra oil to make it through. Let's go back and read page 76. So this is talking about the bridegroom coming, this passage that I've just read to you. This reminds me of something my husband once said in a teaching. Some people are like menorahs without oil. They are beautiful during the day, but useless in the dark. We are to have our lamps trimmed and filled with oil, tending a hot ember that can rekindle the flame of the holy altar when the sun rises. Yeshua said, "Be dressed in readiness and keep your lamps lit." How do we refill our own lamps? By recognizing the source of our life and nurturing an intimacy with our Creator. This requires our surrender to His ways, spending time learning His word, and applying the truth. And although we must be proactive to maintain a lamp that is lit, God has offered reassuring hope to His people of His faithfulness to notice and to protect even the smallest spark. Isaiah 42, verse 3 says, "A bruised reed He will not break, a dimly burning wick He does not extinguish." Father is not there to break you. Father is a loving Elohim, and He will never test you beyond that you can handle. And when you feel that you can't handle what's coming at you, you got to remember where your strength comes from. It comes from Yehovah. So if you are feeling that you're on your breaking end, that says that you have withdrawn from Abba Father instead of drawing into Abba Father. You have submitted to your flesh instead of your spirit man. And like I said, it is so easy. It's so easy to submit to our flesh because it takes no energy to just go and curl up into a ball and sleep the day away. It is so easy to go and grab that bowl of ice cream and go and sit in front of the TV and just eat ice cream and watch soppy love stories and cry our eyes out. But it takes a woman of valor to deny the flesh and to fall at Abba Father's feet and do warfare prayers, do petitions, to spend time at His feet to get our strength back from Him. So this is going to be a challenge for you ladies. And are we going to always get it right? Absolutely not. But you are your own worst enemy. And the only person you need to compete with is yourself. So every situation, every time there's a problem, judge yourself on the previous time. Last time, maybe it took you a week to get back to spending time with Father. Then the next difficult thing that comes, maybe it takes you 2 days. Next time it maybe only takes you a few hours of wallowing. And then you go, no, I will praise Yehovah. Praise the Father, praise Yehovah, O my soul. So you see, this is what you need to better on yourself. Stop looking at other people's relationship with Father. Stop comparing your walk with Father with other people's walk with Father. Because your walk is different to someone else's. Your life, your relationships is different than someone else's. And you're going to be a much happier person if you stop comparing yourself to other people and stop competing with other people. So let's summarize what the Woman of Valour is, or who the Woman of Valour is. A woman of valor has such a strong and honest relationship with Yehovah God that she chooses to trust in Him daily. She perceives her circumstances as she is not self-absorbed. And that perceiving her circumstances means that she is not going to be so self-absorbed that she's not going to be able to be used by Abba Father. That she's going to be able to see that her circumstances are there to give glory to Jehovah. The woman of valor is equipped as she has profited from her daily choice to dwell with the Almighty. See, this is a choice that you make. That taking up your cross means that you are going to sacrifice your flesh. You choose, and sometimes if you tend to fall into bad habits, then you've got to become almost like, how can I say it, like you're in the army. Set up a routine that no matter what, you will stand up at 6 o'clock, no matter how you're feeling, come hail, sunshine, snow, storms, floods, whatever, you will stand up at 6 and spend time with Father, if you feel like it or not. And don't do it in the bed because you tend to fall asleep in the bed. Get up and find your spot where you spend time with Father. It is going to take, you've got to form a habit. Like I spoke to you last time, it's like going to the gym. It's not nice in the beginning, it's difficult, but eventually if you do it long enough, it becomes a habit that you can't live without. And that's how your quiet time with Father has to be. The woman of valor is content due to living a meaningful life guided by truth. Her righteousness is not compromised due to hardships or circumstances. And her faith in Jehovah does not falter when the going gets tough. This is not easy always, hey? But that is also why I have set up this Woman of Valor group. Ladies, make use of it. You know, there's prayers, there's petitions, there's resources, how to bless your husband, how to bless your spirit man, prayers that you can use to bless your children. There's prayer, you can ask for prayers, you can listen to other people's testimonies, use it that you can support one another. That when you're feeling down, that you know that's a go-to to ask for prayer, to go and listen to someone else's testimonies, to go and find resources that you can start praying. I've put all that resources there so that you've got it, that you're not alone in this. So let's have a look at the questions to ponder on. And remember, make this part of your daily prayer diary, and do some self-reflection. So are you self-absorbed and full of self-pity? Are you equipped to meet any challenge or opportunity? Are you truthful with yourself about your reality? And are you content with your current circumstances? What unrealistic fantasies are keeping you trapped and making you unhappy and living with regret and or self-pity? Are you equipped for trials and attacks? What is the oil in the lamp, and how can you keep your oil replenished to burn through the night? So ladies, this is, only you can be honest about this. That's why I don't, if you would love to share, please do share. Because I feel that sometimes your life story can benefit someone else and it can motivate someone else. But, only you can be honest, and Father knows the intent of your heart. But if you want to grow, you're going to have to be honest between you and Father. And that is verse 18 done. If there's anything that you would like to share, please share in the comments, or go to the Telegram group, or reach out to me and I can add you to the Telegram group or Facebook page, and share with the other ladies. Start becoming part of the community so that we can all grow to become the woman of valor, that we can really support one another and become a strong community. Because as we grow into the woman of valor, we become prepared to become the bride of Messiah. I don't want to get to that point where I go and knock on the door of the marriage feast and the bridegroom says, "Sorry, I do not know who you are." I want him to welcome me in and know me by name. May you all be blessed, and I look forward to doing the next verse with you. And remember, you can reach me on these contact details if need be. for any prayer requests or to be added to the group. Blessings, ladies. Shalom.